there, and welcome back to another review. So today we're going to be having a look at another early film from Jackie Chan's catalogue, and that is To Kill with Intrigue. Now, I've said before, like, not all the films are bad from that era, and they're really not. Like, when people think of the low weight era of Jackie Chan, a lot of people, think they're all bad movies, and I've always said there's loads of exceptions: Spiritual Kung Fu, Dragon Fist, Snake and Crane. This film is one of the not so good ones. I'll be getting into today sort of to why that is. Made in 1977, and this was another one of the movies, like I say, from Jackie's early career, where he was sort of cast as the mean, moody, serious hero type, which Jackie Chan very much can do. He can do that mean and moody hero type. I mean, look at Dragon Fist, as I say, no comedy in that film, but it's still a brilliant movie and one of my favourite, not just one of my favourite sort of early Jackie Chan's, but also one of my all-time favourite Jackie Chan movies, Dragon Fist. Well, I've said enough about that film anyway in other reviews. This one, however, To Kill with Intrigue, in many ways is a misfire. I think it's a complete misfire. It's not a complete one, but I don't think it's probably one of the best from this era of Jackie Chan's career. I mean, at its core, this film is like a love story. That is sort of what's going on here. I think the bulk, if not all, the film was filmed and shot in South Korea. I think in Jackie's autobiography, he said he wasn't even sure if Lo Wei knew half the time what was going on. I think this may have been one of them films that probably wasn't a completely happy, sweet production behind the scenes. It does sound the back of the release from 88 films, undoubtedly one of Jackie's finest moments. It does say on the back that's what it is, and I think they're overdoing it. I think they're overselling it a little bit. So whilst this film isn't terrible, to say it's one of his finest moments is very, very, very generous indeed. I think two things you can say about this film is that it is confusing, and above all else, it's just unpolished. I think they're the two things that come to mind when I think of this movie. Some have said that it's so bad it's good, where I think it fails more into just bad category, to be honest. It isn't like bottom of the pile, but it's bordering on it. It's sort of skirting around that idea. It's quite long as well for what it is, clocking in at around 107 minutes. Worth mentioning that Jackie's character in this takes a lot of beatings. He gets burned, he gets stabbed, and God knows what else. This isn't the kind of movie where Jackie Chan kicks a lot of ass, but we will be getting into today To Kill with Intrigue and ripping it apart and see if this film sort of holds up. So the film starts at this banquet, all in the aid of Jackie's father, who is like 60. One of the girls runs off from the party, gets dressed into a white gown, and just starts running around in this field. She just starts running around smiling, like, yes, this actually does happen. I'm not making this up. She just gets dressed into white and just starts running around this field. She meets Jackie Chan, his young master Li Xiaofang, and he is all grumpy, telling her to get lost. She tells him she is pregnant with his baby, and he slaps her. I mean, way to go and make you dislike your lead right away. She tells him she's pregnant. He just slaps her. She runs off and he returns to the party. Jackie basically annoyed his dad at first by throwing everyone out of the party, and already you're like, Jackie, why are you being a dick? Like, what are you doing? You've just slapped your girlfriend. You've been off with her. You've gone to your dad's 60th birthday party. You've chucked out all the guests. Like, what is wrong? Like, do you want to talk about it? What is the problem? So, like I say, you just like him right away. So he throws everyone out and tells them they are coming. He tells his dad they are coming tonight and gives him a severed hand with a bee drawing on it. Clan known as the Bee Faces, and it's been 15 years since his dad tried to get them all. I'll say, if all this plot doesn't make sense, bear with me, because I don't even think that the people that made this film were even thinking that it's going to make any sense. So we learn that Jackie's character sent his girlfriend away so she will be safe. So there was he had an ulterior motive to sort of sending her away, and so will their baby, which, okay, is sort of, forgiven. But why couldn't he just tell her this and explain to her the situation? And we have like a flashback scene of Jackie and the girl frolicking in the field and happier times. Seems like the only time they ever spent together was in this field for some reason. Not that Lo Wei shot this and the previous sequence on the same days or anything, wearing the same clothes. It's exactly the same weather. So some friends of the master agree to help, and some of those who were left at the banquet come walking back in zombie mode and collapse and have like a bee pin in them. So a guy turns up demanding his hand back. I mean, to be fair, the scene is quite eerie, with the way the bee faces creep up and surround them on the roof, with the coffins laying there as well. There is a bit of eeriness to the film, and I thought, oh, that's okay. It's like Jackie Chan. This film might have kind of an Encounters of the Spooky Kind vibe running through it, but no, that goes out the window quite early on. Almost, like I say, bordering on a bit of that Sammo Hung Spooky Encounters territory. The bee faces have these like masks on that are like flowers, so a fight breaks out and the female leader of the clan stabs Jackie's father and mum. Not a bad fight between Jackie and Su Feng, who many of you remember from Touch of Zen. Quite fast paced with some nice moves here and there. He's like, I will avenge my parents, and she replies, was I wrong to avenge mine? And we learn that Jackie's father facially scarred her in the past, so she spares Jackie so she can like kill him at any time or something like that. Like she could have killed him there and then, but she decides to like kill him, so she basically she'll have him in the palm of his hand. And that's like I will get into what I said earlier, that Jackie's character in this, he gets beaten a lot. He really doesn't have a good deal in this movie, Jackie's character. But I can't stress enough that with me going through this movie, if it doesn't make sense what I'm saying, I don't even think Jackie knew what was going on. I'm pretty sure Lo Wei didn't even know what was going on, and I'm pretty sure they were just sort of filming it as they go and just going just on a whim and just seeing what happens. So she spares Jackie so she can sort of kill him, and like she wants him to sort of suffer emotionally or something like that. So Jackie's girlfriend, walking aimlessly, gets approached by some goons and is like saved by a guy called Jin Chuan. I will say on this Blu-ray release, the film looks the best it ever has done, and some of the colour palette really comes through, especially as most of the film was actually shot on location. If you had this, well, if you know out there, if you're as old as I am, if you had this on VHS back in the day, the Lo Wei films especially did not transfer very well at all. They were very grainy, they looked horrible on VHS. Some films come through a bit better than others, but To Kill with Intrigue, and like I mentioned, Shaolin Wood and Men in that review, they really, back in the day on VHS, they did not come through very well at all. I will, as I say, on this Blu-ray release, it really does look the best I've ever seen the film. So Jin Chuan is like, I will take care of you, and she's like, I want nothing to do with Jackie. I mean, to be honest, can you blame her? To be honest, at this point, like I say, he's basically slapped her, told her to get lost. As far as she knows, he's finished with her. So I don't blame her for wanting nothing to do with Jackie's character. I cannot blame her for that at all. So she has like this dream sequence where she and Jackie are together at Jin Chuan's place, and he's practicing these sword skills outside. At first you think she is like having a fantasy where she has like two men in her life, and it's never explained outright way that this is sort of Jackie's friend. She doesn't want to stay in this place. Not sure if it was her and Jackie's retreat or whatever this house was, or whoever it is. This is where Jackie goes first looking for her. Jackie keeps screaming her name, Chin, as loud as possible with some serious echo. He just keeps shouting her name wherever he is. He just keeps shouting her name in the hope that she might hear it. I say, just keeps doing it as loud as possible. Worth noting, they had to change his girlfriend's name Chin, I think, for the Japanese release, because I think Chin in Japanese means penis. I think that is, I'd say you have to give me, my Japanese is not that great, but this, right, am I right in saying that Chin is actually penis, and they had to change it for the Japanese release? So the bee-faced queen leader appears in front of him and tells him that she has gone off with her best friend, right, Jackie's best friend, the guy who found her. The bee-faces leader comes in and says, right, she's gone off with him now, right, and your parents are dead. For some reason, she just knows all of this. For some reason, she has like feelers everywhere. She just knows what's going on at any moment with whoever. So in his mental state and anguish, he sees Su Feng as Chin and goes to grab her, and we aren't sure really as an audience they slept together, as next scene is him in bed and her at the table, and she slaps him as he keeps saying Chin's name. So some assassins come to take out Jackie wearing big massive red hats, and we learn that they were sent by a friend. The film this is what it goes on like. Okay, this is the thing with To Kill with Intrigue. It's not a classic by any means. I think you've probably guessed that already by the way I'm describing this movie. So Jackie managed to sort of take them out, even going so far as to impale one of them on a tree. They are known as the Exorcist Trio, B-Faces Exorcist Trio. We then meet this leader, Dragon 4, and they have the wrong person and wanted Jin, as this is like his house. And they are like, we never fail a mission. Well, you do, as one of yours got killed, and so you can no longer call yourself a trio either. So, we never fail a mission. We never fail in what we do. Well, you just have failed. So, have that. They want to take Jackie, and Dragon 4 is like, you're taking this innocent man nowhere, and if you do, you will answer to my spear. So this is where the film, as I mentioned, can get a bit confusing. This is where the film This film doesn't just trip over itself, it completely stumbles and falls flat on its face over itself, okay? This film, I really do not think they knew what they were doing. So as I say, this is, and we have loads of different plot threads going on all at once. Jackie and Chin Chin, we have Dragon 4, we have the Exorcist trio, we have the leader of the B Faces. There's just so much going on with this movie that it's I think that's what ruins this film. As I say, Jackie can easily play the silent, moody sort of hero, but here, as I say, not only that, but he gets a beating so many times. So Dragon 4 ends up taking Jackie in and looking after him. It turns out him and his gang want Jin Chuan dead, as he disappeared and was helping them escort some jewellery or something. So Jackie is like, thanks, and leaves and goes off to shout Chin Chin's name over and over and over again. So this is what he does. He just keeps shouting her name. Worth mentioning his new clothes and a new get-up at this point as well. So he's got some new threads going on. Obviously regretting to hate what he's done. Maybe could have been avoided, Jackie, if you'd just told her the truth. Like, please get out, save our child. I don't know why he had to... You know, he's put in his head, he thought the best way to do this is I'll just be mean to her, then she'll just go. Just made life more and more difficult to like for yourself. It's just if you'd have just been honest. So the B-Faces Queen turns up and he's like, man up, your parents are dead, and why don't you ever ask how I am and not your beloved Chin Chin? She like hates and loves him, and wants him and punishes him, but has feelings for him, all of the above. Either way, she is mad jealous of Chin Chin, right? The B-Face leader, she's mad jealous. So Dragon 4 is like all defeatist that they won't find like Juan, and they have like half a month to, as he is like bailed on them and done a runner. So after leaving Jackie goes to like Dragon 4, and what do I do to make this right, and helps him with this convoy and this escort that Dragon 4 is doing. So we then have this old scholar type who is following them, and he's from the Bloody Rain Gang. So now the Bloody Rain Gang has got involved as well. As if that we didn't have enough going on as it already was. We've also now got the Bloody Rain Gang involved, who want payback on Dragon 4, and Jackie's like, I will take them on, right? So you think, okay, Jackie's about to kick some ass, right? Worth watching this fight scene. Is one of the guys, if you watch this scene, one of the guys has like the biggest Fred Flintstone sort of club I've ever seen. It's just he just got this great big Flintstone-esque type club going on. So Jackie gets stabbed, and the B-Faces Queen comes in to help. And I love he's got stabbed, and she's like, how is he? And one of the guys even says at one point, it's nothing serious. No, not at all. You know, he just has a great big sword at this point through his gut. So it's nothing serious. So I have loads of groups here: Bloody Rain Gang, Dragon 4, Chin Chuan and Chin Chin, B-Face's leader, Bloody Rain Gang, Jackie himself, lots going on. And this is why this film is so confusing, because basically Chin Chin's run off with Chin Chuan, who abandoned Dragon 4's convoy, right? B-Face's leader loves Jackie, and the Bloody Rain Gang turned up wanting Jackie. See what I mean? I can't even get through this review without it being confusing, right? So this is why a lot of people are not fans of To Kill with Intrigue. So Jin Chuan agrees to take Jackie's girlfriend on business with him. Dragon 4 is actually not bad, just got like abandoned by Jin Chuan. He's always willing to help Jackie for some reason, and we learn he's working for Lord Hu and wants the consignment back. We learn Lord Yu is actually Jin Chuan and the leader of the Bloody Rain Gang, which makes not a lot of sense. So what? He was escorting his own cargo. He ran off with the jewelry that was for him anyway. Right? I mean, the Dragon 4 is tasked with finding him by Lord Hu, even though Lord Hu is actually the person they are after. Do you see what I mean? It's like when you think about it, does that all really make sense? And again, it probably doesn't really matter, because I really don't think the filmmakers were even paying attention. I think Jackie Chan probably done this, is like I say, I know he's under contract low way, but it was just a day at the office, get your money and just get the film done and out of the way. So he sets him like an impossible task, you know. B-Face Queen is looking after Jackie and wants him to die in her arms. Jin Chuan, the guy playing him, does have some moves and some great kicks and footwork on him, and claws Dragon 4's face in half, has them ruthless kung fu killer vibes going on with the evil laugh. Chin Chin now is she knows that he is Lord Yu, and Jin Chuan, the dirty rotter, has told her that Jackie has died, and it's like, if you want to marry me, then you must forget him, you know. He was Jackie's best friend, but he's sort of taken his sort of Jackie's girlfriend and sort of corrupted her and misled her. You must forget him. So the Beast-Face leader is looking after Jackie in this really picturesque hut by like a waterfall, and it does look a really peaceful little like sort of refuge they have going on here. incredibly idyllic. And she tells Jackie what's happened to Chin Chin and Dragon 4. As I say, she just knows all, apparently. This B-Face's leader, she just knows that what is happening everywhere at any point, no matter where it is. She knows what everybody's talking about, what is happening. She just knows all. So even though she has a thing for Jackie, this is where she goes full on sadistic, right? She goes full on sadistic at this point in the movie. Like, defeat me and you can go. Now, that's a common thread in a kung fu movie. Like, if you beat me, you can get out of here. You know, that's a common thing we've seen many times before. I mean, as I say, at its core, there is a love story here. It's just a very, very bizarre, messed up one. Right? It's a very bizarre, messed up one. The idea of the woman who killed his mum and dad helping him, he can only blame himself for acting like an idiot at the start of the movie. So as she loves him, she then brands his face, scarring him forever, like leaving him deformed. Then he has to like drink her blood so we have some of her powers. So like told his girl, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this Jackie in this film, he really suffers quite a lot. So told his girlfriend to go away. His parents got killed. He's been beaten up. He's been stabbed. He's been branded, and he's been made to drink blood. Really does, as I say, he doesn't have a lot of luck. So Jackie sneaks in Lord Ho's doing a rice delivery. Like, rice delivery is like, I trusted you to tell Chin Chin what I did. He, you know, when he lied to her at the start, he trusted his best friend to tell her. Her like about why he was doing it. Again, why didn't he just tell her the truth anyway? Why did he not just tell her the truth? So his plan all along was to just get Jackie's girlfriend, basically. So the end fight is okay at best. As I say, this guy has some great kicks, and I love him. He's like his massive temple palace. Like, he's got no guards. Even at the end, Jackie gets kicked around and owned for most of the fight. Like, Jackie at the end fight, he really doesn't do that well at all in the fight at all. And he's never in charge of the fight either. Like, Jackie, not at one point in this movie has the upper hand. Like I say, even at the start when his parents get killed and then his girlfriends run off and then he gets branded, even at the end fight, he doesn't even get any sort of redemption as such. Abruptly, he's like strangles Jin Chuan with a red sash. Chin Chin is like, take me away, and the B-Face Queen gets told by Jackie saying he will always remember her, and the film just ends. So after all that and everything they went through, you can only assume Jackie and Chin Chin patch things up. Now, if that isn't a kung fu story, like a kung fu love story, I don't know what is. But I think at its core, it was trying to be like a love story. I think they were trying to do like a love story, trying to do a film, like a kung fu movie that had an emotional weight to it. But the trouble is, they try and, like so many films do, even now films do this, where they try and throw so much. Oh, what about if we have that? Oh, should we have that as well? Oh, throw that in as well. And that's all well and good. But if it's just in there, it's like a throwaway and it's not adding anything, then it's just wasting time. And the thing is with this movie, it starts off, you think, okay, and then it just dips into like, this is ridiculous, this is just so silly, because too many plot threads, it's too serious in tone. Jackie's character in this gets beaten relentlessly. The plot doesn't make all that much sense. It does at face value, but when you really look at it, it doesn't at all. And it's just, like I mentioned at the start review, that not all the films from the Lo Wei era are bad. A lot of them are really good. Snake and Crane, Dragon Fist, Spiritual Kung Fu. Half-Life Kung Fu is another one that's enjoyable, but To Kill with Intrigue, unfortunately, is one of the lesser ones. I think it's one of the ones that I don't personally look upon it as that favourably. I think it suffers a lot from what it's trying to do. I mean, I will get round to reviewing New Fist of Fury as well. That's another one that's not too great. But To Kill with Intrigue, if you have seen it, let me know. If you've seen it and it really confused you and you didn't know what was going on either, then I'd love to hear from you. But if you were like, I want to watch some Jackie Chan's, this film I wouldn't say is a must-see. You probably could swerve this one and give it a miss. But if you want a really convoluted kung fu love story that doesn't make any sense, then be sure to check out To Kill with Intrigue. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you soon.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.